Hey everybody, Fred Richani, TSC with some major breaking news on the baseball front. One of the biggest teams on the market, the New York Mets, the team that was in the market for a manager following the Astros debacle, getting rid of Carlos Beltran, having to get rid of him because of his role in the sign stealing scandal. Well, they have themselves a new manager. His name is Luis Rojas. He is the son of the legendary Felipe Alou, and he's somebody that's been involved with the Mets organization for 14 seasons. So this is a man that knows the organization from top to bottom, that's familiar with ownership, familiar with all the assistant coaches, familiar with all the staff. He was a minor league manager for for a decade, not over a decade, but he's been involved with the Mets organization 14 years, over a decade. We've coached Pete Alonso and a lot of the young cats that have been doing relatively well and shown a ton of promise on the New York Mets. I believe even I think it was in mid 2000s, 2014, and maybe even 2015, he was voted the top managing prospect of the year. So he's a guy that's been pegged as a future manager in the major leagues for a long time. And as luck would have it, well, the Mets needed a manager. They got their man. Now, here's the thing. The guy's still relatively young compared to other managers. He is a relative unknown. Yes, there are some people within the Mets organization and some Mets fans that are familiar with him. But he's not a sexy pick, right? Carlos Beltran, World Series champion, former New York Met who led them to a lot of glory in the 2000s. He was a sexy hire. This isn't a sexy hire, but I think in some ways this is kind of like a low risk, high reward for the Mets. Yes, they gave him a multi-year deal. Yes, he is going to be, I think, like the fourth manager in a few years now. But he is a guy that is homegrown in the system. He knows the organization from top to bottom. And I think the expectations, while for the team are high, for him are kind of low. I think he needs to just make the playoffs, and that'd be pretty good, at least for this season. And look, anything's possible. We saw that with the Nationals this past season. Now, I do think, though, this might backfire in some ways because not everybody can handle that New York media. Not everybody can handle that New York pressure. And we've seen in certain situations in other sports, like, put it this way, Gary Kubiak was involved with the Denver Broncos for a while, later went to the Houston Texans, came back to the Broncos, had a lot of success before he stepped out due to medical issues. You look at Jason Garrett. He's a guy that was involved with the Cowboys organization for like 2 decades, more than that, like 25 years, if not more. And, well, yeah, we saw what happened with Jason Garrett. He was an okay coach, but not great, and they only got to a certain level. So, hey, here's hoping somebody that enjoyed watching the Mets this past season. I like a lot of their young talent, especially that stud Pete Alonso. Here's hoping that Luis Rojas could bring the Mets some serious success. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Luis is going to do a good job? What are your Mets expectations? Who do you think is going to win the NL East? Let me know. Leave a comment below if you enjoyed this update. Like, share, take care. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications for more updates like this. And until next time, as always, enjoy the games and best of luck to the Mets in 2020. Big move.